We are a group of Hong Kong people, medical staff of Rottenji Hospital and Tan Siu Khin Hospital who deeply love Hong Kong. The following is a statement in regards to the recent string of unrest stemming from the extradition bill. Political incidents caused by the proposed amendments of the extradition bill has turned from peaceful protest of over 1 million citizens to clashes between the police and the people since the 9th of June to mid-August. The incident at City Tower on the 12th of June, the white shirts terrorist attack on the 21st of July, and the humanitarian disaster on the 11th of August. The government has been disregarding the public's opinion all along and deploying the police as troops to suppress the freedom of speech and assembly of Hong Kong people by excessive and unnecessary force. Wrongdoings of the sort are numerous. In the vicinity of City Tower on the 12th of June, the police fired tear gas into exits and egress, including an area where only means of escape was a locked indoor areas. This almost caused a stampede, which would have been unnecessary, putting many lives at risk. The police also fired rubber bullets, which are internationally prescribed for facial shots on a number of occasions, with one teacher suffering from a hit near his right eye. According to Radio Television of Hong Kong, only 30% of his sight can be retained even after extensive surgery. Meanwhile, trial gangsters in white shirts assaulted unarmed citizens and journalists alike with rattan and steel rods in a terrorist attack in Yuen Long on the 21st of July, disregarding law and order and defying basic human conscience. The police were filmed by the media to be appearing friendly with these white shirt attackers, who are allegedly triad members, leading to suspicion of colluding with triads and failing at their duties. Hong Kong people have lost confidence in the police force ever since, and their authority and legitimacy are left in doubt. In face of social divide, the government continues to remain tone-deaf and distanced, turning a blind eye, saying nothing and passing to the bucket to young people and citizens. Hong Kong people did not give in and persevere in fighting for their innate freedom and rights, despite multiple violent clashes, area clearings by the police under difficult circumstances. However, incidents that transpired on the 11th of August broke the hearts of many. In TST, the right eye of a female protester was ruptured by a beanbag round shot directly at her eye, again violating international standards for using such munitions, leaving her half blind and disfigured for the rest of her life. In Causeway Bay, police officers disguised as protesters beat a subdued protester on the floor and attempted to frame him for a crime by putting bamboo stick into the protester's backpack, while refusing to displace warrant cards for multiple times when carrying out duties. In Kwai Fong, tear gas were deployed within the MTR station in almost unheard act in international police standards. In Tai Koo, police officers pushed protesters down that escalator and even fired pepper munitions repeatedly within 2 meters distance inside a railway station. Such actions prove that Hong Kong has already been caught in a humanitarian disaster, and its people are living in this politically repressive condition helplessly. As the medical saint Sun Simao quoted in Prescription Worth 1,000 in Gold, the supreme healer cures illnesses of a nation. A good healer cures illnesses of a person. The least able cures illnesses of a disease. Our society is in a critical condition now. Medical practitioners should take up the responsibilities to save the community and contribute to our city. Over many protests, we have been remaining steadfast to our duties to save lives and serve the community with our every might. We also have colleagues volunteering as first aiders at the scenes. Yet the government has tried to solve a political crisis with suppression, fear, intimidation tactics, and state-sanctioned violence against citizens. A nurse was even arrested and charged with rioting whilst carrying out humanitarian rescue work, a clear violation of all morals and ethical codes of behavior observed around the world. More bullets would only increase hatred and worsen Hong Kong's situation. In view of this, a silent protest will be staged at the hospital on the 14th of August, today, with the message and demands as follows. 1. We strongly condemn the excessive force used by Hong Kong police force to instigate white terror and endanger the lives of Hong Kong people. We urge law enforcement officers to control their emotions and stop shooting citizens abruptly. Potential fatal headshots, firing at crowds within close range indiscriminately, and the deployment of tear gas in indoor areas should be completely prohibited. 2. We strongly condemn Hong Kong police force for their intentional disturbance of the rescue work of medical workers, as well as violent assault on and arrest with false accusations of on-site medical workers who are providing humanitarian first aid services. Such anti-humanitarian behaviors materially violate the international humanitarian law of the Geneva Convention, which is equivalent to breaching the international rule-based order and inviting international scrutiny and damage to the reputation of Hong Kong. 3. We oppose Hong Kong police force of arbitrary and improper collections of evidence, as well as the breach of patients' privacy within the hospitals, which severely destroyed the patient-hospital trust and relationships. Such action deters citizens in urgent need of medical care from seeking medical attention and delaying their treatment. Meanwhile, the 5 major demands of Hong Kong people are as follows. For the government's mandatory official response. 1. Withdraw the amendment bill of the extradition bill. 2. Retract the riot characterization of protest. 3. Withdraw all charges against protesters. 4. Establish an independent investigation committee over Hong Kong police force's abuse of power. And 5. Dismiss the Legislative Council and implement dual universal suffrage immediately. Witnessing the political oppression of the government, the injustice of law enforcement officers, and suffering of the citizens enrages and distresses us as medical professionals. It is a pity that we cannot join the strikes initiated by various sectors due to the nature of our work. However, we promise to remain steadfast to our medical duties even under such a regime, and do our best to save all citizens, regardless of whether they are protesters or non-affiliated citizens. We do this for the Hong Kong people. This is a message from a group of medical staff of律敦治Hospital and Tung Shou King Hospital.